Hi guys. So today I thought we're gonna do a bit of color theory. Now for some of you this is old news, and for some of you it's the first time that you've heard of it because you haven't done this in class before. Alright. So here's your basic color wheel. Remember I said basic. Now your color wheel consists of your three primary colors: yellow, blue, and red. With your primary, it's called primary colors because these are the only three colors that cannot be mixed from other colors. Okay, then you have your three secondary colors. That's orange, purple or violet, and green. These secondary colors are mixed from two primary colors. Orange you get when you mix yellow and red. Then you get your tertiary colors in between. Now, tertiary color is basically when you mix a primary and a secondary color. So you will get a yellowy orange from yellow and orange. And these are limitless. You just vary the quantities of the two main colors you mix. If you add more yellow, you will get a more yellowy orange. If you add more orange, you will get a more orangey yellow. All right, so the tertiary colors are limitless. Here we just use the main basic ones. Now, traditionally, they put yellow at the top of the color wheel, right? And then all the colors around it. If you draw a line through your color wheel just left of the yellow, you get cool colors on the left and warm colors on the right. Okay, now we're going to color this flower that I have here on the right hand side. Now let's talk about, on the color wheel, you have your, what they call vibrant or pure color. Then you have your midtone and your lower midtone or lighter midtone. Now when you do a color drawing or a color painting in any paint medium or any drawing medium that has color, there are certain guidelines to remember. When you use, let's say you draw or paint in orange, you will use your base color will be orange, right? For the shadowy bits, you will use the complementary color for orange. Now, complementary color is the color opposite on the color wheel. So you will use blue. Blue is opposite orange. Blue in the shadowy areas, right? But things are never that simple. Things in nature, the colors are made up of analogous colors. Now, analogous colors are colors next to each other on the color wheel. So let's say for argument's sake that we do an orange. You're not going to use only orange. You're probably going to use yellow orange, orange, and red orange. All three of those, maybe even more. It may extend to yellow and red as well. These are analogous colors. Now, when you use analogous colors, as in nature, you're going to use the analogous opposite. So for these three, the analogous opposite will be these three. All right, and that's what we're going to do for this flower. Our base colors are going to be purple red, purple, and blue purple. The red is going to be the base color of the petals. We're going to use all three, the purple red tones, and then we're going to add shadowy parts with purple and purple blue. Now, in color paintings and color drawings, we always try to have a balance between warm colors and cool colors to make it more pleasing to the eye, I guess, but also because that's how it is in nature, that's how we see it in nature. Okay, so these three colors will be for the petals. Then we have that little yellow circle thingy in the middle. For that, we're going to use yellow, orange, and orange. And maybe, let me see, maybe a tiny bit of actual orange, just for the darkest parts then. Now this, the main color of the flower are warm colors, the pink color, the pinkish red color, or purpley. It's actually more a violet red color. That's a warm color. You have very little cool colors. These are also warm colors. You have very little cool colors in this picture. So the backdrop of the green flowers gives a nice balance between warm colors and cool colors on this side. You don't have to add it, but if you want to, the colors I see in the picture in the background is basically the bluish green, actual green, and a bit of yellowy green, but more of a lighter shade of the yellowy green. And not much. The yellow green is actually very little in the background. If you want to add the background, you're going to use those three if you have colored pencils at home. For those of you who don't have color pencils at home, please feel free to shade the flower with your normal pencil or charcoal or whatever you have at home. All right. So I'm going to do one of the petals for you so that you can see how we shade with colored pencil. I'm going to do one of these ones at the top because I want you to see how you mix the different analogous colors with each other. Okay, now the first rule is wherever there is white, leave it open. So I'm going to, let me just lighten my lines first. Okay, I'll lighten the rest when I fast forward. First of all, you lay down a mid-tone of your main color, which in this case will be this violet, purple, red color. So I'm just going to put down a light mid-tone. Work very lightly here because it's very difficult to leave the white highlights open. If you work lightly with your pencil, you can still erase. All right, so here I put down the mid-tone, and now I'm just lifting out the white areas that I can see, so that I know from here on to work around them. Okay, there's another one there. Another one there. And then there's one that comes up from here. Okay, now I'm just going to darken the midtone a little bit so that you can properly see where I lifted off some of the color, or most of the color actually, because that's where the white highlights will go. Okay, so I'm just laying down the midtone again. Layering it a bit so that both of us can see properly. Right, so now you've got that. Now you can go in and I'm going to use purple to establish the main shadow areas. Now there's one running right next to this highlight, and I'm still working very, very softly with my pencil. Rather start out soft and then press harder later when you're more certain of where things should go. Right, there's another one around about here. That comes down pretty much all the way to the bottom. Okay, and then there's the biggest one is here. Kind of goes, see, because it goes underneath the petal next to it. That's why the biggest shadow is on this side. On that side, it's not actually, the highlight is on this side of the petal, most of the highlight, because this side of the petal is on top of that petal, so there's nothing casting a shadow then. All right, and it goes something like there. Okay, and then there's a little bit of a shadowy bit here right next to this white highlight. There. Now you can be photorealistic if you want to, but for now I'm not going to worry too much about how realistic everything is. I just want to look somewhat realistic. It doesn't have to be photorealistic. So I'm just layering a bit of, establishing a bit of the shadowy parts, still working on the shadowy parts. And now I'm trying to add the deeper details. Here. So you work very lightly and you rather layer. And with each layer you can press slightly more on your pencil than the layer before. Right, I think I've got that one now here. I must be careful on this side because this is where most of the highlight is. So there's not very much of the purple there. Right, so that's that. Now I'm going to use the blue purple. You can see on this side the bluish. Okay, let me put it next to each other. There's the purple, and that's the bluish purple. Now the bluish purple is mostly around here. And I'm just layering it on top of the purple and spreading it out a little bit. Like that. There's a lot of bluish purple here at the tip of the petal. And even a little bit bleeding into this white highlight here. Just a little bit. Add a little bit more here on this side. Okay. I'm still pressing very lightly on the pencil. Here and there I add a little bit more pressure, but mostly I'm pressing lightly. Right, now we finish it off. Now you can start checking where there's more of this pinky, violety color, and you add that there. Now some of it goes into the purple and purple blue color, but most of it is on its own. And there are parts I'll show you just now. Some of it is pretty light, like I'm doing now. But then there are parts that's darker. Now here we get to one. So here you will put more pressure on your pencil, okay? And then let's just spread it out a bit there. If I want to add, you can see that the petals, it's like there's light coming from behind them that makes them look neon almost. I'm not going to worry about that now. For now, we're just going to focus on the basics. Because if I want to get that glowy look to the petals, I'm going to have to add more colors. And I want to stick to the basics for now, for the sake of the students who haven't done this before. So in the end, my flower will not have that glowy look to it. If you want to add the glowy look, you will need a much lighter pink pencil than this, and you will basically use that light pink pencil to burnish. Those of you who have had the lesson on burnishing color pencil before, you can go ahead and burnish it and see where you get. You can, even if you have a wide variety of colors, you can use, let me check, I've got a very light pink here. You can add that, and then if you have a very, very light yellow, you can burnish, but remember now, do not burnish over the white highlights. You're going to lose them then. Leave the white highlights and burnish the rest. Then you will have that glowy look to your flower. All right. I think this is it for now. for this one, I just want to lift out a few of the highlights that got lost here. I still have most of that one. Now you'll see that with color pencil you can lift off some of the color, but you can never lift off all of it. So my suggestion would be to don't even try. Okay, now I've got that one, and now I'm going to add this one there. And I'm just not to have the lines, the stark lines there. I'm just blending it out a little bit by varying the pressure on my pencil. Just to soften those very dark lines there. Alright, I want to add a bit more of this red color here. Okay, that's the one petal. So I'm going to fast forward from here. Oh, let me show you a little bit of this inside here. For the inside, we're basically going to use only two colors. We're going to do, and here you make little tiny tight circles. Oh, I had to do this first. Lighten the outlines. Okay, that should do it. So you make little tight circles. For this is a very textured part of the flower, right? So you don't want it to be smooth. So you make, I don't know if you can see it in the video, but I'm making tight circles and I'm leaving some of the white of the paper to show through. Okay, so that's basically the midtone. Now you can go in and darken parts of it. Make little squiggles to darken parts of it. Now again, you can go photorealistic here, but that takes forever, so I'm not going to bother with photorealism now. So long as it looks realistic enough, I'm happy. Okay, so just here and there, a little bit more vibrant yellow. And then you can take your orange, and again, don't press too hard. Start out lightly because you want the midtone, and then later press harder to add more vibrance. And again, I'm doing squiggles. There's a part that's a bit darker, so I'm using more pressure. Okay, I'm not going to do the whole thing. You get the idea, all right. So I'm going to fast forward from here. Okay, and then I'll see you at the end. Okay, now you can work on the background if you want. You are going to use a yellowy green, a more pure darker green, and a blue green in the background if you want to work on the background. I think I'm going to stop here for now. Otherwise, the video is going to be very, very long. All right, guys. Keep safe. See you next lesson. Oh, on Friday, I won't post a lesson because it's a public holiday, but there will be another lesson on Saturday. Okay, bye.